Bollocks! 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 Welcome to Toyah and Robert, your deeply unqualified agony aunts with a pile of useless answers ready and available to some of your burning questions. What do we have this week, Lovey?
Frank, Robert, you say you've both been home now for a full year. How has your perceptions of life changed in the past year?
Well, this is a big one, isn't it? So look, the quick answer to this is my worldview is essentially the same as it was before, but I'm seeing the world on a local scale.
Talking about perceptions, we have both realised that our hearing is heightened, our sight has got worse because we're always at computers or I'm doing artwork. We've become different animals, and I think living in our bodies is slightly different because we're just not sitting for so long travelling, so it's changed our general perceptions anyway. But I think that we've become super aware and grateful of the seasons because you can see Mother Nature in action when you're in one place. So thank you for that question, Robert. Laureen, you ask, would you consider adopting my husband and I?
Well, I'm sure you're wonderful people, but to adopt you fully requires some contingencies. First of all, are you clean and cheerful? 2, do you have a generosity of spirit? And 3, how are your cleaning skills?
And 4, do you have a little baby white rabbit? Because I'm just so maternal at the moment and I really want a baby white rabbit. All of those, you can move in tomorrow. Robin Kirk, where was the Ebony Tower filmed, Toyah? Okay, this is a film I did with Sir Laurence Olivier, Greta Sacchi and Roger Rees. We filmed it about 1984. It was beautiful. It was 83. Absolutely gorgeous. And we filmed it in Limoges, in the Dordogne. And we were based in a very old chateau at a time when chateaus weren't incredibly popular, but the location was breathtaking and it was made for Granada TV, and I really hope one day it gets a repeat around the world because it's a gorgeous film. Rob Knight directed it, and when Greta and I had to do the nude scenes, which was almost compulsory in the 80s, Rob Knight, the director, stripped off too, which was very amusing. It was cold that day. Have you seen the Ebony Tower?
Yes, I have, dear. I haven't dwelt on it at length.
Charles Ebert, Robert, this is for you. As a left-hander, was it hard learning to play guitar right-handed?
All right, well, firstly, how can I possibly know? But my guess is it hasn't made a lot of difference, and I shall go into this. I am, yes, left-handed for writing, but I'm also somewhat ambidextrous. For example, were I playing cricket, as when I was captain of the Queen Elizabeth Grammar School, Wimborne, Dorset, at the age of 14, I would bowl right-handed and I would bat right-handed. When I was a useless football player at the grammar school and at Broadstone Primary, I would kick with my left foot.
Oh, bless you.
I know, I'm all a bodge. So, if I'm playing left-handed, the other way around, which I have tried on occasion to see how difficult it is, I am utterly useless, nowhere at all. I have some strength in the left hand, which probably favoured my left hand fingering and calisthenics. My right hand I've put a lot of attention into developing, but I'm not sure I'm not sure that there's any disadvantage to this. There may be some
The
advantages.
thing is, you keep working at it to get the synapses working. You need to tell your brain and your synapses what you want from it. I have this with dyslexia. I constantly have to keep the synapses firing, or otherwise I just shut down. And I've noticed this with you in a year in lockdown, that you keep having to work on split movement using left and right. And you've got better, but you are so dyspraxic, and I didn't know that until lockdown. And talking of Wimborne, do you recognise these, Robert? I am wearing a very beautiful pair of crystal diamante earrings.
Did these belong to my mother?
They were your mother's!
Oh.
And they're an exact copy, they're from 1960. They're an exact copy of Elizabeth Taylor's earrings given to her by Richard Burton. And your mum had such fabulous taste. It's such an honour to wear these. Tony Caltreri. Yeah, I think I got it right. Just for fun, I like to cast everyone in my life. That's cast as an actor. Toyah, who would you cast to play Robert? Well, this is easy peasy. Number one would be Keanu Reeves, because I just would like to tell him how to behave and be with him every day and make excuses to touch him. Nicolas Cage, because I think Nicolas Cage would really analyse Robert so much. It would be so much fun. And if those two aren't available, then Brad Pitt. It's got to be Brad Pitt. Who else could it be?
I think there's some self-interest in you.
It's all self-interest. And if none of them are available, Marilyn Manson. So, Robert, who would you cast to play Toyah?
Well, since we exist here in an alternative dimension of Toyah and Robert through the wormhole of our kitchen, I think the actress best qualified to portray you throughout your life is Dame Barbara Windsor.
Oh, bless! I love Barbara Windsor. She was wonderful.
But in our alternative universe, she continues on.
Yeah.
For the intensity of performance and comparability in height, Edith Piaf.
Okay, is there anyone living we could use?
For the young Toyah,
Billy
yes.
Bobby Brown?
Yes, that's the one. Billy Robbie Brown, yes.
Billy Bobby Brown.
Yes.
Such an honour, such an honour.
May I put in a choice of who I would like to play me?
Yeah, of course.
Harvey Keitel, Anthony Hopkins, both Taurians, and for the middle-aged Robert, Liev Schreiber.
I mean, Lee, you're twins. You and Lee, you look exactly the same.
Good for you, Liev.
Tony says he would cast a young Al Pacino for you. And then for the older you, Winston Churchill, which is a really, really fantastic choice. And for me, he'd cast Jessica Rabbit. That makes me very happy. Because if I was portrayed as a cartoon, I could be superhuman. And I totally back that up, Tony.
You are superhuman, Lovey.
We're all superhuman. Luca Vittori. Before knowing each other in person, have you ever listened to each other's music? I can answer for Robert on that one. No, he didn't even know who and what I was when we met. For me, when I moved to London at the age of 18, around 76, I was told the 60 albums I must own in my record collection to go into the music business, and one of them was No Pussyfooting. So that's the first thing I bought with my very first wage packet at the National Theatre. And then in 1980, I bought Discipline. I love that album.
I didn't know your first wage packet bought No Pussyfooting.
Yes, and I didn't meet Robert till 1983.
3.
So there you go. So don't change the subject. Have you ever heard of me before you met me?
No.
And you only heard about me when the contract was being done for Ebony Tower, where we had to put a clause in the contract that in the book, Ebony Tower, my character had red pubic hair. And in the contract, we said, we are not doing that. I wouldn't do that today. And in 1983, I certainly would not do that. And that's when you heard about me, because we shared the same management and they told you that story. Is that about the colour of my pubic hair?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Scott Pendleton, Robert, do you ever wear blue jeans and shorts?
Yes, 95% of the time. That's blue and black jeans. At the top, I tend to be formal. However, I've noticed that if I wear full three-piece suits, there are a number of people who are a little off-put. For what reason, I will not speculate. So in order to modify the formality, below the waist, I tend to wear jeans.
He's got lovely legs. Lovely legs.
I believe that I've inherited my mother's legs, which she did tell me were her best feature. Now, do I have shorts? Yes, I have a pair of shorts of which I am unduly proud. This, a gift from my Muay Thai teacher for Christmas. Now, these are to be treated with respect and...
Don't show the writing, it's secret.
Yes, and will only be worn in situations which honour the shorts.
And at this point, we're going to insert Robert on Christmas Day trying them on for the first time.
Oh no, that's not fair. Lethal weapons.
That was Robert in his shorts for the first time on Christmas Day. He's so gorgeous.
I've been set up. This is not fair.
You've not been set up. I just thought this was a great opportunity to do it. Stuart Ansell, who put the bump in the bumper bumper bump? And as a follow-up, who put the ram in the rama rama ding dong?
Well, the bump was Jerry Goffin and Barry Mann.
No, it was Betty Boop and Marilyn Manson.
All right, well, that's another good version. And in terms of the second one, Rama Lama Ding Dong,
Yeah.
that was the Edsels and their lead singer George Jones. Although there is
Go on, please.
1957, but the title was rearranged on the re-release in 1958.
No, you're wrong. It was Mickey Rourke.
Oh, well, did you hear the rumour that it was T.S. Eliot moonlighting from his gig at Faber's?
Seriously?
That was a rumour.
I love that. I love that. Jeremy Richards, have you both ever considered writing a book on your spiritual influences and practices? Robert.
Well, I'm not sure what we mean by spirituality, but if we're looking at... My wife is beginning to laugh at me.
No, I'm not. I'm smiling at the camera.
This is the point. As soon as we go on about our spirituality...
No!
Really, hang on. Sue's Corner is waiting. So let me say this. One example of how I might understand a spiritual life, when we're playing notes, music enters the notes. Something...
Answer the question. Have you written a book about it?
Yeah, but let me get to it, dear.
Okay.
We can always edit me down if I'm wittering too much. So look, how does music that comes from nowhere, that we're aware, move into the notes? And we experience this, and we experiencing of this ineffable, wonderful, benevolent, creative power entering notes on a guitar. And have I written a book about this? Yes, because it's an entirely practical matter, how to engage with the practice of playing a guitar. And the book will be published later this year. It's called The Guitar Circle.
For me, if I wrote a book, it would be about kind of common positive values. The one thing I say to a lot of people who think that this is all that it is that we are so utterly unique on this planet from any other animal in that we can be creative, we can create things, and I truly believe that meditation or prayer for some cultures is what allows the future to happen for us. And I would like to write a book about that for people who just do not believe that we are anything other than animals. We go beyond that. We have the power to believe. And that belief is something that serves you in this lifetime. And whether you choose to do that through meditation, creative visualization, or prayer, I think it's absolutely vital that we use that part of our brain. I would write a book about that. I would need a scientist to help me, and I'd also need a believer to help me. So thank you, Jeremy, for that question. Alan McLean, have you ever had embarrassing moments with our boys and girls in blue? And how did you talk yourself out of trouble? I told Robert this story. It was about 1999 when me and a camera crew got arrested in the Church of Nativity, Bethlehem, because we filmed there and entered there in a curfew, and the UN got us out. How about you, Robert?
Yes, yes, and it was so embarrassing. I'm not going to tell it now.
What?
No, I'm not going to tell you.
Is this something I don't know?
Yes.
Oh, did it happen in New York?
No.
Come on, you can't leave us hanging like that.
Yes, I can.
I will pay you. I will
No,
give
you won't.
I'll give you you know what.
No, my wife will not bribe me in any form of marital persuasion.
You cannot say that and
Yes.
not answer it.
Yes, I've just refused to say anything further. I will, I know, I will say, no, I did, no.
Please.
No.
I'll buy you an artwork.
No.
I will do you a painting.
No.
I will be kind to you.
No.
I will get it out of him come what may, and you will know by next week. Jimmy Pilly, have you ever thought of buying a scooter since I've been in Quadrophenia? Well, not a scooter, Jimmy, but I absolutely love this. And the thing is, Robert said if I ever got a motorbike, because I did want a Harley Davidson at one point, he said he'd leave me. Is that true?
No, dear, it said I get another one too and ride behind you.
Yeah, well, that was enough to stop me because, I mean, really, he's so dyspraxic. He's only just about safe on his own 2 feet. So have we got a magic chord today?
We have a few magic notes, and I will just put a short preface into this. I've been working this week on a piece and looking for a coda to it in some way, and here are a few magic notes. Bollocks. And the third time for the magic. Bollocks. Oh, where am I?
Shall I sing my song?
Yes.
Okay, this is a little ditty for Robert. Robert wears tight underpants, that's why he can't sing. No matter how hard he tries, his vocal cords go ping. But those tight underpants keep his picking hand in time sometimes. I wouldn't have it any other way for this prog rock king of mine.
I'm impressed, lovey.
I have a really good guitar teacher. And I play much better than that on my own, but we all know that one. So what's the magic chords, baby?
I'll put the coda together. So if I were to choose one of the magic chords for this week, it would be the fourth and final.
Very nice. And I've written an aphorism for you before we go, and that is Robert Fripp, the only person who can improve on perfection. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. We have a brilliant Sunday lunch tomorrow, and we love seeing you and hearing from you. Stay safe, stay positive if you can. You do have a right not to be, but we care. So have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye from Toyah.
Be well, and Robert.
Robert wears tight underpants, that's why he can't sing. No matter how hard he tries, his vocal cords go ping. But those tight underpants keep his picking hand in time sometimes. I wouldn't have it any other way for this prog rock king of mine.